everyone, this is Surirala. Let's go on an adventure in space! We're playing TerraGenesis today. TerraGenesis is a free mobile game, and it's not pay to win, but you get to pay for things in it. Mostly, the only thing I paid for was to unlock all of the planets, which we'll see in a minute. But yeah, let me tell you about this game. It's pretty much a resource management game, rather like SimCity, except instead of managing a city, or a little family, or a nation even, you get to take care of an entire planet, and not just take care of it. You get to go into the solar system and even other systems, or even generate a random planet and terraform it. As you can see from the lovely logo, you get to take a planet like Mars, barren and lifeless, and through various means turn it into something rather like Earth, rather habitable. And I love this game because it's based on real scientific data on terraforming, sort of to show how possible it can be if it wouldn't take millennia to do in real life. And that's Sammy in the background making a little cameo. Some of you may remember my cat from previous videos. I'm going to let her out the door now so I can record this game. Anyway, let's begin our little journey into the science of terraforming, shall we? The archives actually have different sections on what they used and the different scientific processes behind terraforming. It's a neat read. You should give that a read while you're playing. But let's go straight into play, shall we? Now, on this screen, and I'm going to move this, pardon me, you get to choose which planets or moons you want to mess with. We have the planets of our solar system, and that one is given to us for free when you have the game. The rest of these you kind of have to buy. But it's not terribly high priced. I got the entire bundle of different options. So we have the first 4 planets and the moon. We have the moons of Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and the dwarf planets from beyond our solar system, which of course includes the once 9th planet, now demoted celestial body Pluto. And also, not only do we have that, but we have a story campaign based on a real planetary system surrounding the TRAPPIST-1 star, and fictional planets that they give you to mess with. And of course, there's also a random planet that you can colonize, transform. It just randomly gives you the names of the planets are generated. You can't choose them, which is silly, but they give you a planet with pre-generated temperature, pressure, oxygen, and sea levels, and you get to mess with it. But we're not going to do any of that today. I'm just going to show you what you can choose. Now, I did some of the terrestrial planets myself. I did the moon, the very first. If it will allow me to choose it, there we go. It lags sometimes. I did the moon the first time, and I made it into a lovely green sea. Now, of course, it's kind of impossible to terraform the moon based on its lack of magnetic field, but and they lampshade that in the archives. But again, this is just a conceptual game on what would happen to different planets if we were to terraform them. There's the famous red planet, now made green. And I'm working on Venus right now. And the difficulty of these planets range from easy to hard. And Earth is the hard one. Another cool thing I like about this game is that it's very subtle in educating people about the effects of climate change without making that a central point. Your only goal is to take a planet and by doing various things to alter its pressure, its oxygen level, its water level, and its biomass to make it into a real world. Now, the different fictional planets are really... I've done the different fictional planets. Bacchus is really neat. It starts out all purple and you turn it green. Boreas is a complete ice world that I turned into a pretty green, lovely place. Pontus is just a giant, like, water world that you have to drain the sea in order to actually have habitable places. Yeah, basically the fictional planets just give you various aspects of different gameplays. This little one, Leith, gave me quite a bit of trouble because it actually has a story with it. You have to figure out what happened to a colony of around 50 million people just vanishing in the blink of an eye. I won't tell you how I solved that. That's a story worth seeing for yourself. But today, I'm going to tackle, to show you guys how this game works, the large, uninhabitable planet of Ragnarok. As its little thing says, it is a huge world, over 3 times the size of Earth, incredibly rich with metals and minerals, and in a perfect position around its star to harbor life. The only catch, it's a hellish nightmare world blanketed with a crushing atmosphere full of smoke and poison gas, and the fractured surface is littered with glowing volcanic rocks created by its unstable core. Taming this world will be a true challenge. Now, if it were me, I wouldn't want to tame this world at all. It would be a big freaking risk. But they made it a challenge, so for this game, and to show you guys how it's played, I'm going to accept this challenge. So, new game. Now, when you start a new game, starting to terraform these planets, you get a faction to choose from, each with different goals for its terraforming. The Daughters of Gaia are pretty much ecologists. Their terraforming policy is to transform a barren planet into a life world, and their main focus is ecology and the preservation of ecology. That was my first faction when I did the moon. The Hephaestians are sort of the opposite of Gaia. They're all for conservation and industry. They want to colonize planets without doing much harm to the surface. Let's see. The United Nations Space Administration, the UNSA, is kind of the balanced of all of the factions. They're for science, and when you choose them, most of their levels are pretty fairly balanced, and you can do with them what you will. Basically, the factions just give you an advantage or disadvantage in your different facets of culture. And the Horizon Corporation are the wealthy ones. They want to terraform a planet, basically for the money. They value wealth, and by choosing them, I think it makes it easy to make your currency of just credits. Yeah, you have a currency to work with. That's why it's called resource management. Now, I always choose the UNSA for mine now because they're pretty balanced and, fairly just level in their loyalties. Now you can choose the difficulty levels right here. You can disable, since I know how to play, I've disabled the tutorial. Again, if you guys want to play it, you can. But it's recommended that. I'm not going to show you guys anything that you wouldn't see yourselves. Now, the ecosystem, what's awesome about the ecosystem is that you can either go with biomass, which basically you can build up a sort of... when your biomass goes up, the planet just turns green and plants immediately start growing and life immediately flourishes on the surface of your world. But when you choose biospheres, recommended for experts only, you actually get to take control of just what kind of life you put on your planet. You put down microbes, you put down plants that feed on those microbes, you put down herbivorous animals that feed on those plants, etc., etc., and you get to actually balance out the ecosystem yourself. But this is going to be, I'm just going to show you guys the basic gameplay. So I'm just going to choose biomass and normal and begin game. Now, every time you choose a planet, this is the screen you start out with. You can see your credits in the corner there, whether they decrease or increase. GPs are a super currency, sort of, Genesis points. And when you choose that, you can use Genesis points to add more credits to your game. They give you 20 for free. I try not to spend all of it, though. And you'd get Genesis points either by paying for them, or what's interesting is that you can transfer Genesis points from any planet that you have going on so far. All of your open planets, you can earn GPs on them by watching ads every so often, and you get free GPs that way. And you can transfer them between games. So you don't always have to pay for the GPs, which is awesome. And you also get these transmissions, which are like prompts, to allow you to watch a short video, a short ad, in order to boost your mining and cultural revenues. The money you earn from mining or from the people in your colonies, the various things they do, the randomness. you won't get very much of that right away, as you're just starting out on a planet, but most of your main revenue is going to be from mining. I'm going to decline that for now because I'm not getting any. What I like to do is, check the planet out. And this is your stats screen right here. I might as well show you guys that because I pressed that first. The stats screen shows, the levels of your main your main stats right now. Your heat level, pressure level, your oxygen and water levels, and what they're supposed to be at for, life. When you get all of these into manageable levels, you start growing plants, and then you can get these into the manageable levels, and you can have people on your planet living freely. So from there you can just see the individual planet temperatures. Oh boy, see, the atmosphere is already thickening on this one because poisonous gases keep spewing into the air, so you have to find a way to balance that out, it seems. And the heat's already pretty high. There's the pressure, which, oh boy, yeah, it's going to keep, fissure vents, it's going to keep increasing unless you find a way to balance that out. Oxygen levels go down because of those pressure vents, and so you have to balance that out and find a way to make it grow to the goal. And of course, your water levels are going to be it's going to be very hard for you to maintain water levels in this game. I can see why this planet's hard now. Its very nature is going to be against you, but I find a way to make it work. Your population, your biomass, which it shows you if you're in need of something, it shows you. And this is your money and what is increasing and decreasing on it as it grows. So, something that I like to do, is use the credits that they give me. In normal mode, you'll start out with 10 million credits. Go into research. Okay, if I can move this. Go into research, and you get to research for your credits various ways to balance out your system. We have, and each of these are available for more credits later as you keep going. But you can research ways to lower and increase the heat, the pressure, the oxygen, the water level, the biomass, and to manage your population. Now, what I like to do is go to mining resources and research all of, at least the first few things that you can mine for, so you get some easy credits early on. And then you go into colonies, and you can found a new colony which starts off at 0 right off the bat, or you can found a new outpost in which you will put mines. So I'm going to do that, and when you do that, you get a map of your planet's surface right now. I don't think I can put anything in those vents, but what I am going to do is find a suitably high place. And when you're building colonies and outposts, you want to find a suitably high place to put your mines and your colonies, because when the planet starts filling up with water, it will it will flood if you're not careful. So let's see. I think I'll put my first mine right up here in the corner. Wonder. Now you can put outposts. You can name all of your outposts and all of your colonies. Now what I'm going to do, because this planet is named Ragnarok, I'm going to make my outposts and my colonies, the names, referencing Norse mythology. Because I'm a geek like that. I'm going to give the outpost names to gods and the colony names to places. So my first outpost will be named after, of course, the Allfather himself, chief of the gods, Odin. If only for good luck. Build that. And then you can go into colonies again, choose your new outpost, and build a mine. And this is an interesting little mini game. As you build a mine, you have to actually find the mine on the little map. So what you do is you take your focus meter, you put it all the way down, and then you go around and you find the best places in which to dig for your chosen material. In this case, I like to do 5 mines per outpost, and usually just like 2 of the rarest ones, 2 for each of the rare ones, and 1 of the next common one. In this case, 2 silvers, 2 irons, and 1 carbon will do, just to get a nice little revenue going here. Like I said, you're going to get money from mines first, but when your colonies grow and their culture revenue grows, you'll get money from them primarily. So there's a good spot of silver. Establish a mine. And you gotta watch your credits. But I guess as you go, you'll find it easier to balance out. Sandy, hey baby. I'm sorry, my cat's being very needy. We just moved her in, so she's always wanting company. Mostly mine. Sandy, hey baby. We'll put this next silver mine. I guess this is the best I'm gonna do right here. And then, let's see, iron. Gotta hit that pay dirt. And once you put mines down, you can go in and look at them and see how much revenue they're generating. And it takes a certain amount of days for them to deplete, and you have to put a new mine up when they do. But you can also upgrade the mines to make more revenue at the cost of them depleting much earlier. It's a good rule of thumb to do that, but I only do that when you get a random event that one of your mines hit pay dirt, and so it'll take a lot longer for the mine to deplete. So then I just upgrade it then, and so it'll give me a lot more for about the same amount of time that it would have before. Alright, there's another good iron placement. And finally, a carbon placement. The cheapest and most common thing. down. Find a good stream of carbon. And right there. There we go. Perfect. And there's my 5 mines. Altogether, a net income of 2 million some credits per minute. And you can see the credits going up. And now I'm getting transmissions to watch ads to get more things like a boosted revenue or free Genesis points. I'll edit out the ads. I won't make you guys watch the ads, but I will watch them myself to gain some more stuff. And there we go, 2 Genesis points. Bam. So yeah, now I don't have too many more credits, but now I'm going to put down a little colony of people. Yeah, Sammy's here too. She's wanting to terraform with me. I couldn't leave for terraforming planets without my kitty. Who wouldn't? Really? Who wouldn't take their pets with them? Especially when one of the first animals in space was a dog. Let's see. Yes, begin construction. And I'm going to put you in a very high spot. Probably, I don't want to do it near a lava thing, but maybe right there, around the center. 42 kilometers above sea level. That's perfect. And I'm going to name my colony. Let's see. What would I name the first colony on a hellish planet named for Norse influences? How about how about the God's Hall of Heroes? Most people know that location at least from mythology. Plus, it's good luck. So now, when you put down a population of people, you get a first population of 100 in their little habdome, and you also get a culture point, which gives you points to use in moving the bars for various little things to influence your culture. You can do economy, change and balance it between industrial and ecological, your eco-policy, your government, which I like to keep at a democracy because it grows the population. Ah, and here I have my first random event. A new style of architecture is developing in Valhalla, which emphasizes pastel colors and small-town designs. While still in its infancy, this new style is quickly being adopted by local architects and has become heavily associated with Valhalla. A lot of these little random events, some of them are mostly for flavor, just for fun, to emphasize that your colony is growing and your people are becoming a tight-knit culture on a new planet in new places. But other ones kind of influence, either positively or negatively, how the culture goes. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. And yeah, these transmissions come every so often. Fairly often, but if you're patient enough to watch the ads and just keep it going, you'll get a nice early revenue boost in order to do more things. A wealthy donor is interested in offering to upgrade our level 1 hab unit in Valhalla to level 2 for free. In return, she is hoping for a slight change in our economic policies toward a more industrial model. I will accept that for now, because for now that's advantageous. And the hab unit is upgraded to level 2, which means we get more, a little bit more of a population boost. Bam. Sometimes watching the ads can be a little tedious, but if you can endure watching like a short ad for just a minute or so, then you get plenty of Now, what I'm going to spend this first point in is independence. Your basic goal on every planet is to turn your population from your little society that you're helping on this planet from a colony to a full-blown independent nation, and when you reach 100%, you basically win the planet. So yeah, you win, and you get to go on to the next thing. Oh, I'm getting a lot of random events right now. A group of ambitious miners at Odin Beta have been working day and night to improve their operation. Yay, the mine has been upgraded. Sometimes the mines upgrade themselves, which again is still at the extent of making it less time, but it's kind of cool when they do that. So yeah, the road to independence. We got 5% towards the independence movement. Decline that for a minute. I'm going to go back to that. And we can see the things to research. I've shown you that. Our colonies, you can take a look at the colonies and see what they do. The culture. Biosphere is not open to us because we're not doing biosphere, we're doing biomass. But yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much the layout of the game the first time. Now let's see. For now we only have what is given to us at the beginning, a small way to augment the pressure and the population. So I'm going to put down a couple more hab units. And I'm pretty sure the pressure is going to be like randomly immense, and it's going to crush anything that we have at level 1. So I'm going to upgrade those when they come out, and I'm going to do some research on things that will help to make the planet more suitable for life, like a cooling plant to bring the heat down. And that'll take a little bit. You can hurry it up at the cost of Genesis points, but I'm not going to do that. I have time right now. So yeah, that is our first look at the hard planet Ragnarok, and I think I will leave this session here and keep going with it. Yay, another ad. So I will keep going with that, and we'll see you guys how you guys like it, and I'll return with another video when I've moved things along a little bit, just to show you guys how things are doing. If you're, if you're curious about it, maybe I'll even show you what other planets I have. Like I'm working on Venus right now, I might show you that. But anyway, that's it for this session. So if you guys liked it, leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want. And I will see you next video. Keep adventuring. Bye-bye.